All right, thank you, Chuck. Thank you very much, folks. Next on our agenda on the presentations, I have a great pleasure of talking a little bit about a very, very special person in our community, Mr. Jim Palmer, who's president of the Orange County Rescue Mission. Jim is also a former council member. He's a former or present everything. I mean, the gentleman is involved in everything in our community. And most recently, as the president of the Orange County Rescue Mission, he has done just a phenomenal job of helping those that have fallen into situations, sometimes that they couldn't help, less advantage, and turning their lives around. And I mean really turning their lives around. I had the pleasure of going to one of his graduations, and the Mayor Pro Tem also, to be a speaker, and to see what he has done to resurrect some of these families. And some of the people have come from some past bad luck with criminal situations. Others just fallen into tough times and lost their jobs and were living in the street. And Mr. Palmer and the people that have worked at the Orange County Rescue Mission have done just a phenomenal job, like I said, of turning them around and making them positive members of our community. So I'm going to read a little bit, but it's got so many whereases on here, I'd be here for 2 hours. But just a special thanks to a very special man, Mr. Jim Palmer. Like I said, I'd be here forever, but I'm going to give you a little snapshot. Whereas for over 30 decades, 3 decades, see what I mean?
Looks good.
3 decades, Jim Palmer has provided leadership and guidance as an active member of the Tustin community, dedicating countless hours volunteering for the Tustin Area Historical Society, Tustin Tiller Days Committee, Tustin Chamber of Commerce, Tustin Community Foundation, Red Hill Elementary Site Council and PTA, Tustin High School Site Council, the annual Veterans Day Parade, Tustin Thanksgiving Breakfast and Mayor's Prayer Breakfast, Tustin Chili Cook-Off, and the Mayor's inaugural dinner. And whereas Jim Palmer is the president of the Orange County Rescue Mission, located in Tustin since 1992, has led the organization to becoming the largest nonprofit faith-based organization in the region, serving nearly 29,000 homeless men, women, and children throughout the region and providing 4,000 meals for them every day. Mr. Palmer has led the effort to create long-term self-sufficiency and stability among the homeless community by addressing the underlying causes of transitional and chronic homelessness. Whereas Mr. Palmer is a graduate of the 2002 Tustin Citizens Police Academy and has served as the commander of the Professional Services Responders Program of the Orange County Sheriff's Department, a unit of 400 volunteers to provide administrative and leadership support in the areas of dignitary protection, emerging technologies, communications, government relations, firearm safety, and emergency response sources. And whereas throughout his accomplished career, Mr. Palmer has received countless awards and acknowledgments, including his appointment by President George W. Bush as the Board of Director for the Corporation for National and Community Service and the 2010 Orange County Local Elected Officer of the Year, distinguished for his outstanding service on the Tustin City Council from 2006 through 2010. And like I said, I could go on and on, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Palmer has distinguished himself, and most notably, you know, he's like a lot of you out there. He's one of the people that live in this community to make it as great as it is because of his volunteerism. So again, without further ado, I'm going to come down and hand this proclamation to Mr. Palmer and ask him to say a few words. But again, a great round of applause for a great citizen of the city of Tustin. All right, Jim, it gives me great pleasure to give you this proclamation, and thank you so much for everything you do in our community.
Thank you so much.
Get one more.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor and council members. I'm more comfortable giving out awards than I am receiving them. But it's wonderful to be able to live in Tustin. It's been a neat opportunity to be able to serve. After hearing the list, I think I might be 300 years old. But just halfway there, I think, to the goal line. So I just really want to thank everybody, thank the staff and the others that we work with. And I'm blessed to be able to live here. I'm blessed to be able to work in town and to shop and to raise a family here. And I just thank God for allowing me to do that. And thank you all for being wonderful neighbors and so supportive. I think at the end of the day, when you look at the success of a city, you really look at how that city treats the poor, the least, the last, and the lost. And I think this city does an unbelievable job of doing that. And so I know that God's smiling down on all the good work. So thank you so much.
It's just a quick comment, Mr. Mayor. I think Jim Palmer is really one of our definitely big hometown heroes. He's done so much, and you know, I can hardly believe that he ever gets any sleep. He does so much for the community. So thank you for everything that you do.